thing. So
So
even
you cover education, phone, and everything?
if we dispatch it to you, it's education. We're gonna pay you
Right.
as a diagnostic.
Right. I mean, we work with manufacturers that make it difficult to get paid. We put that into our model not to be that way.
Now, if it's a dealer, no, because they're bypass. If it's a dealer sells it and they put a claim, we're gonna reject that because it didn't come through us. We would have triaged that. But if it's us, customer calls us, we dispatch it to you. That's our error. They should have caught that with the customer.
Yeah.
So we'll pay that.
So what is the issue with the switch and the, how you know?
It was a defect in manufacturing for that particular door. So I think the person that
Vendor.
the vendor that made it for us, it just made it cheaply. It would break.
It's physically break?
Yes. Or gets we're stuck.
It's more, it's more internally.
Well, they just don't start, they just can't think of something.
And we'll give it an FD error.
You'll get an error code,
Oh,
FD.
FD is the error.
So it doesn't open or it doesn't close, depending on the last mode.
Like it'll think
The first thing that happens when you plug in the laundry and you hit power, it's going to check the door lock. That's the first step. So you can tell right now, right away, if it's that with or without the error code.
Right. So speaking of error codes, these are error codes. So E1, check if lid is open. That was pretty obvious. Or see if there's not insufficient water to the unit. That's the combination you're going to have with that one. E2, water's not draining. E3, the one we just talking about. Also FD as well, could be the issue as well. Unit E4 is unit is out of balance. This is a common issue we've seen in the past. Dampers could be off. Unit wasn't leveled. Common issue as well if we see with our units. E5, it usually end up being an E4, depends on the situation. I haven't seen many F2s. I've seen C9s. PCB failure. We see FD right there. And the C I haven't seen that as well.
So C9, that means that user interface board is not communicating with the main board. It's usually the main board is the culprit for that error. And that same thing with the driver. Same error, same scenario.
So how to get into service mode for that model is pretty much what it is, right?
That's the top load
Top
instruction. Load. That's different. That would be
that's when you do the
signal and
we'll do that after. You want to do it real quick?
I can just
yeah. Unfortunately, the service manual for the service mode for this unit was
Wrong
wrong.
or plugged in?
No, I'm just trying to look see the
Do you guys need an appliance repair technician?
Well, the service manual was wrong. That was the problem.
I believe it's extra rinse and signal on the front load.
Yeah, we'll do that in a second. We're going to work on that unit and show you how to get up and range as well. Enter a test mode, press power, press quarter plus button, software, and units. So basically, again, I'll let emails to you guys so you have it. So this will tell you what it goes through, the testing modes it goes through. It'll go 1888 on the display panel, and then from there you go to the test mode. So again, it is a good thing after you repair a unit, you replace something, go through this test mode, make sure it's operating properly, so the customer is actually, training, doing all the function it needs to do.
Is there a calibration cycle?
No,
No.
there's no calibration cycle, correct. I had a question yesterday, actually. Again, they go through all the sensing and everything. So this is a basic wiring diagram of the unit itself. You want to take a look at that real quick. It's a very basic, simple. Again, it's the top load. Keep it in the back of your mind. It's the top load thing.
That's it.
Very, very simple to work on. All right. So eventually we're supposed to tell you guys how to replace a lock and a lid, and it's actually pretty easy to do so. Basically, we're going to pretend we have a top load here today, right? Basic unit. I'm going to show you this. Imagine it real quick. If you're behind the unit, there's going to be 2 screws in the back. You basically pull it back. The unit should be the top should be pretty you can move it at that point, right? You go to the front. The whole top cover will go up. There's 2 screws on the back of the lid latch. Take them out. Replace it, put it back in, boom. Put it back together, good to go.
It's very simple.
Very literal 5-minute job. Easy money. Even out of warranty, it'll be a good job for us. Good.
It says end lid, so.
Lid's very simple. So the lid's something different. Again, the lid is where basically it cracks, the plastic on the side breaks, it just comes off. Kind of very similar situation. You got the disconnect everything from the back. Basically, there's I think I have a video on that. I'll show that to you guys in a minute. But that's becoming more of a common issue than it should be. I think the customers we have are kind of abusing the units sometimes, and it's kind of slamming it too hard. But they have redesigned it since then. But that lid latch is pretty easy to do for the most part. Now, there's one thing I want to show you guys real quick. So I have some videos here I want to show you.
On the top of you doing that lid lock is the part that you lift up, is it actually hinged or is the whole top loose once you take out those screws? Do you follow the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're like behind you and you take out those screws, is then the whole top loose or is it hinged?
It's hinged.
It's hinged.
It's hinged. Be careful when you reassemble it that there's a level sensor inside there that it goes back in.
In the back left corner.
Yeah, that can get kind of caught up sometimes. All right, so this is kind of an example of
What's
what
happening?
this is how it can break at times. Just kind of see this out. That's the top cover that we're breaking. That's kind of how you can see that times. So, we actually have these in stock now. There was a time we didn't have them in stock, but we have these in stock now. That's pretty simple repair. I have a video here about leveling. So I'm going to show you this quick video. This is made in our lab in Parsippany. Not Parsippany. What's that place?
Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
Perth Amboy. So you can see this, how the interior is. This is also some of the dampers coming loose or not going down properly. Wear gloves when you do this, by the way.
So you replace it or just reinstall it?
It depends on which one I'll be using. This is an event that comes off by itself.
And there's two different sets. There's two different fronts and back. They're color coded.
When you want to install a new one, please make sure that in front side, this one, the one is with white color, and along with the real color, the real side is with blue color.
What's the front?
Blue color, blue color.
And I'm assuming to test them is just like the other ones. You push down, and it should just do one bounce. It shouldn't be bang, 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 bang.
You'll see we can kind of rotate a little bit.
Because the customers say it's loose, it's moving, and like, yeah, it's supposed to do that. It's not supposed to bounce.
Correct. That's what that shocks the car.
Then, yeah.
You also do the audio for them because that's non-discernible.
This is all off the cell phone.
Yeah,
I think they requested it.
It's okay.
it's okay now. See?
And you have to grease them. Do you recommend greasing them or
It already has it.
but you know sometimes when you come back the grease
Yeah,
is all
Encompass has it, the grease.
So that's a combination. Yeah, that stuff's pretty hardcore, right? Now, real quick, I just want to show you again, just on our website for that model, there's a fair amount of information on it, just to show you that I'm not lying to you guys. If we go to Call Expert, that's gonna be this guy right here. Show you information we have on this thing. So, I replaced the suspension, top lid cover. So let's, for example, let's look at this. Look at this. I just want to show you that we're not lying on how we take care of our product. Look, an actual service bulletin we provide for you guys.
nice.
Right? Lid removal. Boom. Little screwdriver, throw it in there. Break it out. Second slot. Unscrew the damper screws. You gotta again, it's a little funky to replace the lid cover. If you follow these directions, that's why you get access to this information here. Basically pull it out, and it's the whole thing's disassembled. I asked them to show the reinstallation, so that's gonna see here as well. And this we're gonna add this, so. And these are polarized left and right, and then just basically reverse install it. So stop.
Is this website public?
It is not, you have to be authorized to
Okay.
access this. This is a Call Expert. If you're authorized, you'll have access to all this fun stuff here. Let's see what else is here. Suspension change, we'll change the suspension, serviceman parts list, and the motor change. So again, you can see there's some stuff. Now, if you go to the other model behind it, that'll be the 3. If you do an error, I'll do that too. Same thing. As you can see, it's the same issue with the top of the cover in the new model as well.
You guys gotta pay for access if you're not authorized.
Nothing in the works.
As I mentioned,
And our management team, every company they work with, they never had that mindset. So I don't see it happening unless maybe in the far future, but not anytime soon.
like I've had non-authorized people reach out to me just to help them out, and that's the service manual. Or hey, you know about this issue? Like this is one guy in I think in Missouri, but it's where I have the coverage ready. Also in the service manual, just help them out. Like I'm not gonna let someone just dangle out there. I mean that's money for you guys, so I'm not gonna like say you can't have it. You know, we're not like that. Again, that's kind of how. So this is basically the sub assembly for the top load. As you can see, does anyone recognize the kind of layout on this model?
GE.
Yeah, the motor comes with,
Bingo. We
GE.
build a lot of GE laundry.
That looks like GE. That lower bracket, that's them all day.
Now,
So if you've done GE, you'll be very comfortable with this unit.
And it's belt driven.
so we typically we don't replace anything with a clutch, but it's easily accessible on this model. Everything's accessible from the bottom, but the motor has been replaced multiple times. But we never replaced quite a bit.
what about tub jobs?
We would never replace subs. If the tub is defective, has a leak or something like that, we just swap the unit out.
Like if it's cracked on.
Yeah, take a picture, show us, we'll exchange it, we'll pay you.
What about if there's a leak and it's like grinding and it's seized and everything? So,
We would exchange that. If
the
it's
whole
seized,
unit? Yeah, okay.
But think about the price point of these units. We're not gonna throw money at it.
Yeah, it might not be one.
Exactly.
You know how GE, they sell the complete kit of both the inner and the outer tub, one complete assembly, so you don't have to repair the bearings and all that. You just throw it in there. Do you guys do that?
we don't do tub replacement, so we would exchange it.
Oh, just get
That
rid
can change in the future, but yeah, anything that's costly, we pretty much exchange.
So we call customer service and they would make decision or we
Call
just
tech
say
support.
exchange it?
Tech support will exchange it right there. They'll confirm it. They'll exchange it right
The
there.
tech support.
Yes.
Tech support. Call tech support number, upload your pictures, and then ask them, or they might do FaceTime with you. If you have FaceTime, and say, hey, someone's going on, and they confirm it with you, they'll take care of it from there. Don't make yourself be the bad guy or the good guy. Be the good guy.
Yeah, it's,
And then this parts diagram, for us to access it until we become authorized.
Encompass has a lot of them, so you can pretty much put the model in Encompass.
And they have this parts diagram.
Most likely,
Yes,
yeah.
most likely.
Especially this popular model. I'm pretty certain they will.
All right. It's more just kind of a replacing agitator screw. We kind of spoke about this already, so I'm gonna kind of skip this one here. All right, inlet valves. Pretty much the same process.
One of the issues that we have, and where we address this, and we continue to address it, some of the naming mechanisms are like they call it. They don't call it. If you went to Encompass and you put in this model, and you know they have the filter where you can put the name. If you put an inlet, it's not going to pull up anything. Nozzle assembly, what they call it. So we're pushing the factory and everyone to think we got to make more universal names. So that's something that we're working addressing.
so what's the warranty on this product?
1 year.
So would you exchange under 1 year or like let's after 3 years the bearing is noisy? Would you exchange at that
No.
time or no?
No, it's 1 year warranty. That's it.
Oh, under one.
Under warranty.
Okay.
The only thing they've extended the warranty on is on the motor and inverter on that one for a certain model and a certain string over range for 3 years.
It's the front load.
Yeah, the certain one, but you don't. Those are kind of winding down at this point. That was a unit we made back in I think 2019. It was.
Yeah, so the issue with that, I'll give you a quick highlight. We built that model for GE. We built it for ourselves. We made ours bigger, but they use the same inverter and motor. So obviously not enough to handle bigger capacity. That's so they upgraded the motor and inverter. That's what that kit's for. But most of that's already resolved at this point.
So the only thing, is anything else to add?
That model for GE is a year, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Refrigeration compressor plants.
Yeah, it's different story. All right. Again, this is pretty much standard. I think that the error code on this one's going to be E1. If you have a customer calling in, they know it's getting thrown an error code, not enough water. Just go out there with this just in case. It might be a supply issue from the customer's perspective. Just have it with you, just make it go.
Like
away.
anything else, look, as a technician, let's mentally think triage. Okay, this is 3 days old. What connection are you using? What's the water pressure? What's the those kind of installation things? If it's 7 months old, then more likely it's going to be a component failure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, E1 with water restriction could be it could be an inlet defect.
Is there a way to identify something that comes up with these on their part?
They wouldn't disclose that.
Never
I wouldn't want to disclose that because I don't want my parts going to GE. If I find you, I will call you out.
Right.
Because then we don't have parts for our own warranty.
So leaks in these units. So typical leaks we've seen on these units, the hose underneath the unit. We've seen where they're dragging into the house and it gets little leaks there. I've seen that as an issue as well. Connection leaks as well. They reuse the hoses from the prior unit. I've seen that quite often. They try to go cheap on the install. They don't want to spend like $20 for a new set of hoses, and that causes issues as well. What other issues we have for leaks? That's about it, really. But just if someone calls in for a leak issue that is spilling water on the ground, I've seen where the nozzle assembly or the inlet assembly, they over tighten it and ends up breaking it, and it's leaking from there as well. I've seen that quite a bit actually.
Yeah. Sometimes
It breaks when it spins or something.
Or just when it's inputting water, it just leaks little by little.
Yeah.
Again, those are the situations you want to take pictures ahead of time before you even start working on it to show that you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Same thing that there was a couple of units I worked on down in Miami. Down in Miami, some of the plumbing down there is not the best. Like they're using I'm talking houses in the 40s. We try to connect the new wash machine to it. I mean, when you connect it, you see where the turn-on valve is. It's leaking already as it is. I take a picture of it, said to the customer, you have to get a plumber out here. This is going to be an issue in the future. The next point, you actually put that in your notations and take that picture for yourself because you don't want that coming back on you. Because that's people like suing people right now. Any questions, Sandra? All right.
How are your valves holding up? I know sometimes from the top they leak out, the inlet valves, the little silver
Oh,
part.
yeah.
One brand in particular, I ain't saying their name, but they known for their inlet valve failing, flooding the house.
Not common.
Not common.
No.
I haven't seen that. All right. Well, we're going to go to party and I'll use it at this point.
Well, we'll keep that anonymous, but you pretty much said it.
All right. So now the next thing, since we don't have the actual product here, we're going to go through the front load here in a second. So you want to plug that bad boy in? See if you can get the service pump real quick?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, everyone's like, why don't you get everything hooked up properly? No. They want me to hook the dishwasher. Like, I'm not flooding the hotel. Wow. Why not? That's a big liability thing, actually. That's a lot of money for a restoration company.
It's funny that I'm getting a company card, just be fine.
What company card? Again, to remove the top cover on this, was it 3 screws, 4 screws in the back?
3.
3. So if you guys want, you can get close if you guys want to. Everything's accessible from the front, from the top. Just like any other unit, you can access the motor and the inverter from the bottom. Again, that goes back to that E50 era we were talking about earlier. So you'll start the unit up. Is that the new one?
Yeah. Want to do the
Eric, yeah. So put it in test mode real quick. So again, we had to get an update from the factory yesterday or the day before because the user manual, the service manual was wrong with that service manual button.
You have a comment from one of the viewers. It says, Saul Flores, flood the hotel, go big or go home.
I'm down with that.
There you go. All right, Joe.
All right, so you got a service mode, right? Yep. So you can rotate to get to a different one, I believe, right?
When did the sequence?
You have any phone? Go ahead.
You go there.
I think I'm gonna get into people. Someone was asking us the other day about T10 mode. I think it was.
Error 1.
Oh, error code. Why is it E1 error code?
Probably no water.
What? There you go.
I think we're at it. Want to just unplug it?
Yeah.
I think we're at it. Let's go.
Okay, you got it. All right, that lock. Someone asked a question yesterday. If you leave it locked with the door in test mode, it will keep it locked. You have to like unplug it. When you plug it, it will reset eventually.
And they have the little clip in the bottom of the lid lock. You could pull it down, right?
If you wanted to. There's not a lot of space down there.
Is it a lot of space?
No, not a lot. Not in this unit.
No.
So the best way to get it out the door lock is unplug it.
Yeah. Let it reset. It'll do it by itself.
One more time, Joe.
Unplug?
I feel the pain in doing this.
There we go. I think signal answers it. Yeah, signal should be the answer.
Doesn't the turn knob?
Can I ask a question? Why the pressure switch? You guys didn't keep the standard old school one that you blow in it, listen for the click, and you out the door.
You're not supposed to blow into them anyway.
Well, that's the way. Well, you know, that's the little quick way
Never
to check.
blow into a pressure switch.
You'll hear that click.
Yeah, but you also mess it up.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I want to be locked with the main board.
I think we locked it.
We messed with this thing too much the other day. I mean, we really beat up this unit. Bring it.
It's okay, we know.
All right. So real quick, if you guys want to take a look at it.
You want to remove the backlight?
Yeah, the back plate. So basically, you can access some stuff up here. I'm gonna show you the back here in a minute. Yes. He's right behind you. You just kick him right there. So if you want to just, I want to show you real quick underneath the bottom of it.
So we're there for 10 minutes. We'll be right back.
Maybe fine. You guys want to see what you can
Yeah,
access to the bottom?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Can you change the drain pump with this one from the bottom without taking the door off?
No, you gotta take the front off on that.
Oh, you gotta take the front
Yeah,
off.
this one,
Okay.
yes. But you can get the motor and the inverter from the bottom.
Okay. The
Motor
MCU,
in the back.
the motor control unit,
You
right?
can lay down under there. I don't mind. If I sneeze though, I won't make any promises.
You guys might recognize the layout compared to GE stuff. So if you want to take a look at it, you'll recognize it from the other units.
Hold on, I can change the drain pump.
You guys go ahead.
Let me get that.
This is without taking the front off, you said?
No, drain pump, you need to remove the front.
Oh, okay.
If you can do it.
The little dampers, do they have those little push
You
pins
give
or are they
somebody enough
bolts?
time, they'll
That you-
find
that
out
you,
the easy way to get
You
rid
know
of
some
it.
brands they use that little split pin.
That's not ours. I don't recognize that.
Yeah. What are yours? Like a bolt that you just ratchet down?
Yeah, 'cause I
Okay.
don't recognize that thing.
Yeah, you have to like whack it in.
All right, now I'm good.
Federal government phone. That's probably one publisher's clearinghouse they keep calling.
Y'all gonna tear this one apart or not?
Yeah, we're gonna go from the back. Just so
From
you
the
guys-
back, not the front?
I don't know. We can do it. So you gotta put it back together.
I was
guys.
curious, what kind of spring do you got on the inner boot? What kind of springs on the inner boot?
It's on the intake. No, we didn't take it apart last time we did this. So I can tell you. I think I'm on my OG the other day, actually.
As long as it's not that Electrolux spring.
All right, where's the screwdriver? Oh, right. All right.
I'm not talking about the outer spring, I'm talking about the one that's.
Take it apart.
spring on the inside.
That's high tech stuff right there. Yeah.
How many volts is that one?
That deal.
How many volts?
That's like 9.
9?
Yeah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna make some money on it.
I promise you, I started calling.
Well, sometimes I see people using the 4 and it's just
Can't get it out. Don't work on it. Yeah.
I have a 12 volt wall.
So you can see, so you guys can see the motor. Well, you can see the suspension down there. If you guys want to check it out.
Is there a motor control board in there?
Yes, inverter board.